You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hello you. Go away. Stop it. Sorry, hello you and welcome to Radio Nonsense. Stop it. Go away. The official Comedy Club for Kids podcast suitable for all ages from to... Oh, stop it! Oh, it's me, Tiernan, hello, and I'm not sure what's happened, but go away. I'm surrounded by bees, and everything in Comedy Club for Kids HQ is, covered in honey. Ugh. But I'm not really sure how these bees got in here, or why. Comedy Club for Kids doesn't look like a hive, even though it is obviously round and it has sort of rings around it, and it's mostly made of wood, and then there's these big vertical walls with hexagonal bits on them. But I think that's just because it's a cool design, isn't it? It's not a hive, it's just sort of a cool looking place. I don't have that many flowers here either, that the bees may want, well, apart from all the flowers that I've covered all the walls and the floor and the ceiling with, because they just really brighten up a room, don't they? So it's not those things. I'm not really sure what else it could be. What do bees like? Do they just hear a buzz about somewhere and go there? Oh, wait, hang on. Maybe it's because I wore a big crown yesterday and I walked around everywhere saying, I am the Queen, because I thought that was really funny. And then I did a waggle dance where I point my bum all over the studio because, again, I thought it was very funny. And then I shouted, I wish everywhere was full of bees! Because, that might have done it. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, actually, no, I know what it is. Hang on. Let me just count these bees. Can you hold still? Stop flying about. Hold still, everyone. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 67. Is that the same one? Hang on, are you the one that was over 214, 433, I think. Okay, 433. Yes, I've got it now. Comedy Club for Kids HQ, right, you see. Our address is 433B, Ridiculous Lane. And I keep meaning to change the door sign, so it says 433B, and not what it actually says right now, which is 433 bees. I don't know why it said that. I don't know who put that there, but I haven't changed it yet anyway, so maybe these bees just thought it was an invitation, and it was sort of inviting them in that we needed 433 bees here. I suppose if I have invited them in, it's very rude of me to then shoo them away again, isn't it? And they've brought lots of honey, which I suppose is sort of a nice gift. I can't really make them go away when they've brought such lovely honey. They've covered everything in it as well, which you might think would be bad, but actually I love honey, and it just meant that everything is stuck down where it is, so I can't lose it. Stuff always goes missing here, but not when it's covered in honey. Look, here's the microphone, and here's my computer, and here's the desk, and the kitchen sink, and the toilet. So at least those aren't going to go anywhere now. Linda, are you stuck somewhere? No, she must have managed to leave for the day before all the honey arrived. Or was she even here at all? Where is Linda? Who is Linda? Is it rude to ask guests to help tidy up a bit or pay towards the biscuit jar? I would ask all those bees, but they just seem very busy. Nowhere near as bumbling as I thought they would be either. They haven't bumped into anything yet except my head several times. Well, I suppose it's nearly spring, isn't it? We've just got loads to do, like make honey, which is why it's everywhere. Well, look, listen, listeners, I'm very sorry about the noise, but I'll try to get on with this episode as best as I can, even though I've got honey in my eyes and I can't see where the microphone is, which is also covered in honey when I can find where it is. Anyway, look, thank you for the lovely messages and reviews, and this week I have to give a very honey-covered thanks and a sorry to those of you who donated or got your clumpy butt garglers, grown-ups, to donate for you to the Acast supporter page. That page is hidden away somewhere on our website, and it's now also covered in honey, so I just hadn't really found it in ages. And then when I did manage to find it, there were 2 messages, and one was from Mr. Toastman, who probably doesn't like being covered in honey, because then that might mean someone's about to eat him, so that's quite a scary idea. Well, Mr. Toastman, anyway, sent in a question that I've now added to our big stack of questions that is now also covered in honey, and there's a very angry-looking bee on top of it. So I'll try and get those answered, but he keeps waving his stinger at me. It's bit intimidating. Anyway, so thanks for that, Mr. Toastman, and hope you don't get eaten anytime soon. And also, there was one from Bob Stacey, who said, "We love the podcast. Please bring the Comedy Club for Kids shows to Manchester." Well, Bob, we're often at the Lowry in Salford, so hopefully we will be back there very, very soon. Do keep checking our comedyclubforkids.co.uk website for details. Obviously, though, we're currently covered in honey and completely stuck here, so unlikely to be going anywhere until that's sorted. Well, unless I can ask the bees to fly me to Manchester. Maybe if I cover myself in pollen, I can get stuck to all their knees and then get a free flight. That is definitely worth thinking about, isn't it? Except I can't get any pollen because I'm stuck to the desk. Oh, this is rubbish. Silly bees! Oh, I mean, sorry, lovely bees. Uh-oh. Anyway, thanks, Bob and Mr. Toastman, for your kindly donations. And if you're clumpy butt garglers, sorry, grown-ups, also fancy buying us a fresh puddle water or anything really that gets rid of honey or bees, then they can do that at ko-fi.com/Comedy Club for Kids or at the Acast supporter page. If you can find it. I definitely can't, even when it's not covered in honey. Don't forget, if you have anything you'd like to send in too, whether it's jokes, thoughts about bees, or questions you need answering, then get those same grown-ups you've bullied to send us bee removal gear to also help you email us at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. OK, and now, if I can unstick it, it's time for the importantest bit. Though I'm a little bit worried about the sound quality, as I can just hear this constant buzzing noise in the headphones, and I wonder if I need to change... Ah, no, yeah, sorry, of course, it was just a bee. Silly bees! Joining me on the podcast today is none other than Ed Petrie, a.k.a. Ned Fleesky, a.k.a. Big Eddie the Blender Defender, a.k.a. Kono Jagomo, which is Japanese for this potato, obviously. Of course, though, Ed, our listeners know you for being the detective that famously fed all of the hungry hippos, so now they aren't hungry at all. Pioneer of the world's first rapidly spinning tea tray, and of course, how could we forget, the only person I think to date who successfully built a sandcastle so big it's now a listed building, a UNESCO site, and a home to orphan walruses. Ed, it's lovely having you on the show.
Oh, that's lovely to be here. Anything to get me out of my my sandcastle with all those walruses. They make such a mess.
It's you chose to live in it, isn't it? That's what I found amazing, is that you built it and then you thought, well, I'll live here now.
Well, no one told me they get so big. I thought they, when you see them, when they're puppies, they're so cute, aren't they, walruses? But yeah, there's 300 of them now. They're a bit of a handful.
And you've got to manage that. Have you couldn't get a sort of, I mean, I don't know if there's such a thing as a walrus handler that exists because they're quite big. I don't know how you'd handle them.
They'd have to have very big hands. Yeah, I can't handle them. I'm a terrible parent. It's all gone completely out of control. They eat so much bread.
Is that when they do they? Now here's a question, because they've got those two big teeth, haven't they?
Yeah.
Do they sort of do they stick like a slice of bread on each tooth? Is that how it works, or do they use the teeth to kind of pick up? Use like cocktail sticks. They pick up bits of cheese and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I say bread. It's more bagels. They've forced the tusk through the ring. Yes. Much like a hamster.
Yes.
They store them on the teeth to eat later.
That's amazing. That's a very clever plan, isn't it? Yeah, and I suppose hula hoops probably.
They love hula hoops, yes. Polo mints. But they have to get them specially made at the factory so they're big enough. Honestly, it's a nightmare. Do you want to take them off my hands for a week or two, just so I have a bit of a break?
I mean, the problem, I don't know if I have anywhere to store walruses here. I mean, our listeners regularly send in farting animals and stinky yaks. That's what we get sent on the emails. And so we've got the Comedy Club for Kids HQ is full of those. I don't know if I've got any space for orphan walruses as well.
Well, I mean, the good thing about walruses, little known fact, they're the only animal that doesn't fart.
Are they? Is that right?
Yeah, but their burps smell of farts.
Oh, right, sure. Because they've got such massive mouths. I mean, that is true. I don't even know if... Do walruses even have bums? I don't think I've ever seen a walrus.
No, they definitely don't. Put that in your biology exams, kids.
Yeah, the walruses are bumless creatures of the sea. That's what they're known as.
Don't laugh. They'll get shy.
It's also, but then, yeah. I mean, I worry how they get rid of. Like, how do they poo? If they've. I mean, there's a lot.
I could tell you, but it's not appropriate for a children's podcast, so we'll just leave it there.
That's fine. I mean, go back to the original thing. If you built the sandcastle, it became home to the walruses. You didn't have to stay in the. You didn't have to live in the sandcastle. Couldn't you?
Have you seen the price of a house in southeast London these days?
Yes.
Right. That's why I live in a sandcastle.
That's fair. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do. That's a good idea. Is it nice living in a sand? Because like I find it amazing that sand gets everywhere, even if you've just gone near a beach, and next thing you know, you got it in your socks and in your pants and in your hair. And your
the good thing about living in a sandcastle is you don't have to clear the sand up.
Yeah.
You do have to build your house afresh every day, which gets quite exhausting. But apart from that
must be really well, especially because you built such a big one as well. So that is
I just wake up in a massive pile of sand surrounded by walruses, rain lashing down. I have some days are better than others. Let me put it that way.
I bet. I mean, I'd have thought your entire day is spent building the sandcastle, only for it to then go away again, and then you have to build it up again. That's your lifetime. I mean, what you're doing this podcast. I'm worried. Either your sandcastle isn't going to be built fully, or it's just completely gone by now.
Oh well, I'm hoping with all the money I get for this podcast, I can hire a team of builders to help build the sandcastle for me in the morning and save myself a lot of time.
I hope I'm a bit. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm slightly worried that you didn't read, because there isn't really money. What we do is we sort of send.
Oh, there's no money.
The thought of money. Well, I send we send thoughts of money. So I'll think about money.
Right.
I'll think about
Oh, okay. I'll think about saying goodbye then. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's also. Well, that's all right. It's the thought that counts, isn't it? So that's what we thought. You just need. Oh no. Listeners, he's blocked the Zoom. I don't know. I can just see his...
No, only joking. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm still here. I'm still here, listeners.
He's still there because it's here on the sandcastle, and that's the only choice. Yeah. Well, look, how are you? Apart from the walrus dilemma, how are you?
How am I? How am I? Well, I guess I was probably originally descended from some sort of worm. And that through a process of evolution, maybe, I don't know, became a dinosaur, and then eventually some form of ape, interbred with Neanderthals. And, fast forward a few thousand years, my mum and dad met in a supermarket and decided to have a baby, and here I am. So that is how I am. That's how I am.
Sure. Is
that what you meant?
I mean, that's quite a... Yeah, it sounds quite exhausting. I can't believe you've been through all that.
Yeah, well, we all have in one way or another.
I don't remember.
Well, how are you then?
How am I?
Yes. How am you?
I've had a big sandwich. I feel I've had a big sandwich, and so I'm quite full.
Oh, right. That's more what you were getting at. Oh, right. Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, sure. Right.
Sorry,
sure,
I got confused. I thought you meant, how am I? How do I exist?
But that's an interesting... I'm also curious about that. That was very insightful. And I started to worry that having just had a big sandwich, that maybe I haven't done enough today. I haven't been a dinosaur yet, or, I sort of feel like maybe I've not tried hard enough.
I think we're on cross purposes here. I think
I'm not cross about anything. No. I'm quite happy. I've had a big sandwich. Yeah.
Wasn't a walrus sandwich, was it?
No, I don't eat things with faces, with the exception of smiley potato shapes.
Oh,
that's my rule. And all worms. Worms don't have faces, but I don't eat worms.
All right. So,
especially now I know that, like, you
jellyfish. Do you eat jellyfish?
Oh, do they not? They don't have a little face, do they? No, I don't eat jellyfish. I can imagine jellyfish would be really horribly chewy as well, and stingy. In fact, it'd just be disgusting.
Well, you may think that. The walruses love them.
Yeah, but the walruses have got different dietary rules, haven't they? Like, I bet they eat... Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they eat things... I don't know if they have a rule about things with faces or not. I assume they just have...
Well, we've already established that your rule is stupid and makes no sense, because you won't eat a jellyfish, so...
Well, no, but I've told you there's exceptions to the rule, because I won't eat a worm either, and I won't eat a slug. Well, the slugs sort of have a little face, so yeah.
Right. Oh, so you won't eat anything that doesn't have a face? You just be eating beds, carpets.
No.
Has it got a face? No? Get in my belly.
That is exactly it.
Bricks.
I just earlier today I ate a printer. I ate some coat hangers. I'm like, there was that Frenchman who had like a bike and stuff.
There was. I remember that when we were kids. It was on TV, wasn't it? There was a man, and this is going to sound like some nonsense we've just made up. This was actually on the television. I remember that he ate a plane. He ate a car and then he ate a plane.
Which must have taken ages.
Sorry to tell you, kids. Yeah. He's dead now. I wonder why.
Yeah, he is dead now. Probably from just trying to poo a plane out. I think would be probably enough to.
Didn't sound fun. Even in the 80s.
It is disturbing to think that all the children listening to this have got so many options for TV, whereas we had a man that ate a bicycle.
Yeah,
that was it.
And we'd all seen it. This is what we did before we had phones.
Yeah.
We just watched people eating cars and bicycles.
Yeah, and then you come into school next day and go, he had a bike, and then someone would try it, and then their teeth would fall out. and then we'd all laugh at them.
This is true, honestly, kids. You've got to try and work out which bit isn't.
Worryingly true. I'm pretty sure he was French, but I'm not 100% sure. What's clever is I think people can use the internet, and I don't know if children are allowed to use the internet. I don't know if they're old enough, or I don't really know.
Yeah, get a parent or guardian to go on and find out about the man who ate a car. He did actually exist.
I've always wanted a guardian, like just I guess they've just got a big shield and
a cape.
Sort of. Yeah, that's it. I really want a guardian. Yeah, or a garden. Either.
Or is it a Guardian newspaper?
Maybe. Is that what happens when sort of I just have to wear a newspaper on my head and then?
Yeah, imagine being brought up by a newspaper. Oh, it'd be awful.
Yeah, that would be. It'd be, especially in the rain. They just sort of go a bit soggy, and it'd be not too dissimilar to your
a bit, yeah.
Sort of, yeah. Wow, it's stressful lives that some people have. That's yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a parent.
Yes, I think so. A grown up, but just a human. I think a human would be, or an animal. Like there's if it was a good animal, I wouldn't mind being brought up by like a monkey, or a wolf. I think it'd be quite cool.
Yeah. Or what other animal would be good to be brought up by?
I don't think.
Or a whale, if it was being sick, you could be brought up by it, couldn't you? I'm just talking. Sorry, I'm just talking rubbish now.
Yeah, well, because you'd have to be eaten by a whale. I think you've been hanging out with walruses too much. You're getting walrus chat into the conversation. I don't think anyone listening will have been eaten by a whale or would like to be eaten by a whale. But obviously, that is, I understand, a prevalent issue for walruses on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I used to. Do you remember the story of Jonah and the whale?
Yeah,
he lived inside a whale, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
I thought would be quite spacious.
Yeah, and they taught me at my school that that was a true story, which I believed. I believed that for about 25 years, and then I found out it's complete nonsense. No one's ever lived inside a whale ever. It's not possible.
Is it actually not possible? Because
no.
It'd be quite hard to prove it, wouldn't it? Like if you actually lived inside a whale for a while, and then when you got out, you went round, and everyone went, "Oh, we haven't seen you in ages, Ed. Where have you been?" You'd be like, "Been inside a whale." We'd all be like, "That is nonsense. He's clearly talking nonsense." But you wouldn't be able to. It'd be hard for you to prove it.
I think you should prove it, Dylan.
Should I go live in a whale for a while?
Yeah. No, I think you should prove that it's not possible.
I see. Yeah.
For the good of science.
Don't like the Yeah, okay.
Just hurl yourself into a whale's mouth, just to prove my point.
I don't think the whale would like it. I don't think because the whales, they're not so endangered anymore, which is good. I think there's quite a lot of whales have come back. They've had a comeback, which come back. They're doing better now, whales, than they were. And I don't want to then start whales being endangered again by hurling myself at whales' mouths.
No.
In the hope that I could live inside a whale. I don't,
They have had a great comeback, haven't they? It's probably the internet helps, doesn't it? It's really revived the career of the whale.
Oh yeah, because now there's the fail whale, isn't there? And that's is that what you mean?
What's the fail whale?
The fail whale's when, like, sometimes certain pages, I think it's on certain websites, when the page crashes, a picture of a whale comes up and says, "Sorry, it's crashed," and that's known as the fail whale. And I think a lot of whales got jobs doing that.
And that's why they're doing so well.
For whales. Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're probably making more money than I'm getting for this podcast by the sound of it.
Yeah, well, no, but the more we talk, the more money I'm imagining you getting. I'm thinking about you.
So how much money are you imagining me having right now?
£3.62.
Ooh, I could buy at least one packet of bagels with that.
Yeah, well, there you go. And then that's what? How many walruses would one walrus?
That is the plural. Walrus.
Walrus.
Yeah. Write that in your English exams, kids.
When you're writing about the bumless walruses of the sea.
The bumless warlie.
How many walrus can you feed with one packet of bagels?
One packet feeds about 1/12 of a walrus.
Oh, wow. So it's really useless.
Yeah. Oh, it's expensive business.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's not really a business, is it? You're not really earning...
No, it's the complete opposite of a business. Oh, I've got 150 maxed out credit cards. Oh, but you should see their little faces, though.
They've got big faces, haven't they?
Well, yeah, I was just...
Yeah.
I was...
Look, I think what you're doing is very honourable. And, without you, where would walruses be? Probably in the sea or...
Yes, in their natural habitat.
Yeah, I can't remember which pole they live at. It's one of them, isn't it? Not the other one. Because polar bears are at the north one and penguins are only at the south one.
Yeah. Walruses just hang out wherever they like.
Wow, mavericks.
Yeah.
I suppose you would, wouldn't you? If you had teeth like that and no bums, you'd be like, I don't care.
No, they don't.
Just do what I want.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've actually got a little tunnel that goes through the centre of the earth, so they can go to the north or the south whenever they feel like it. It's a bit like the Greenwich Foot Tunnel.
Right. Is that right? And they just sort of slide down it, do they? Well,
yeah. They get a little bit hot as they go through the molten core of the earth, but it's worth it for ease of travel. Is that
what melts their bums off? Do they have bums?
Exactly, yes. That's how their bums get sealed up.
Right. Wow. They've really undertaken quite a lot for the planet, walruses, by doing,
They're a lot cleverer than people give them credit for.
Yeah, I didn't know walruses were clever at all, so this is quite a revelation. Yeah. Wow. Well, Ed, I wasn't expecting... I mean, this is already a highly edutainment.
Yeah. Feel free to edit as much of this out as you like, by the way.
There's no editing on this show.
Oh gosh.
Because I don't want to deprive the listeners of this kind of information about the life of bumless walrus, where this is sort of the real chat. This is what podcasts are for. This kind of real, unedited, in your face, proper investigative journalism, actual facts, real life chat that they don't get from other places like TV or YouTube Kids.
I think what I enjoy most about this podcast is imagining the faces of the bemused mums and dads as they're listening to it in the car. That's my main motivation for coming on here.
Yes, yeah, but I think that's very important, and mums and dads should have bemused faces. I think that's like the faces they should have. It's better than an angry mum or dad face, isn't it?
Oh yes, definitely.
Or a happy mum and dad face, which is just disgusting.
Oh yeah,
they're happy. Ugh. They like something. That must be the worst thing in the world.
Or if they're having a cuddle. Stop that.
It's just
showing affection for each other. Ugh. No.
I mean, what you can say for sure is there's no way they're going to have a cuddle when listening to bumless walrus chat.
No, there's going to be no cuddling going on as they're listening to this. And quite right too.
So that's exactly, that's the service that we provide. That you're providing today by being on here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you. Obviously, there's another service I need you to provide on this podcast, which is to answer some of these children's amazing questions. But before we get to that, I've asked you this question before, actually, but maybe you've got a different answer this time round. But this is, as you're probably well aware, it's an audio podcast. A lot of our listeners hear this with their ears, possibly also their feet, their bums. I don't know how they choose to listen. It's it's not up to us. But because it's an audio podcast, I wondered if you had a favourite noise that you might like to make for us, or at least tell us about.
Yes, it's this noise. It sounds a bit like listening. See if I can get it right. It's that noise.
That's a good noise.
It's a noise that grown-ups make when they're reading the news. If they're in the old days, it was a newspaper. Now they're probably reading the news on their phone. But they go, ah. And it's a noise that means ask me a question about what I'm reading so I can tell you my opinions about it.
Oh, that's good. Isn't it?
So when I hear that noise, what I like to do is completely ignore the grown-up who's doing it. In the full knowledge that it's making them crazy. And then they'll probably do it again. They might even make another noise which goes like this. Ugh. Ugh. And they're just itching for you to go, oh, what's that? Oh, the bloody government have gone and blah, 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 blah. So, no, you just have to not say anything at all. It's delightful. Try it. When you hear somebody.
That is very good. Is that the peak when they start telling you, even though you haven't asked them, is that peak? Like, can it get worse than that if you keep ignoring? I'm wondering at what point they just go away.
Oh, no, they don't. They just keep on doing it. So it just becomes an end. They'll just be going, ah. It's so frustrating for them. Ah. And then eventually they explode.
Wow. Oh, wow. It's just that's some good advice for listeners if they want their grown-ups to explode.
If you want your parents to explode, ignore them as they're trying to get you to ask them questions about what they're reading in the news.
Yes, excellent. Well, that is a very handy tip. Obviously, if you are going to have exploding parents, try and do it in a contained area. If it's in a park, it takes ages to collect them all up again, and yeah. Yeah,
the kitchen is best. The surfaces are much easier to wipe down.
Absolutely. It's exactly what I was going to say. Kitchen, bathroom as well, also quite good. But then it might mean that they're reading the news while having a poo, and then you probably don't.
That's going to be very messy.
Yeah, it's going to be really disgusting. So just don't dare do that. Wow. Well, that's an excellent noise. Thank you, Ed. And of course, the other thing I have to ask you is this is a family-friendly podcast. It's suitable for all ages you can possibly imagine. Go on, imagine an age. Go on.
52.
Yeah, it's totally suitable. 52. Absolutely. Anyone you can imagine it is absolutely, maybe except 101, but it's a long conversation. But any other age you can imagine this podcast suitable for.
Do you still get angry about people who are 101?
No, do you know what? I let them listen to podcasts for quite a while. Recently I've had some disparaging comments sent in by 101-year-olds, and I started to think maybe I shouldn't let them.
Oh. Well,
maybe.
I've never liked them showing off about their letters from the Queen.
Yeah, well, when they're 101, they get sent an email from the Queen full of emojis. So that's because it's like they've already had a letter, and then the Queen sends them like loads of emojis.
Just like swans, things that she likes to eat: swans, corgis.
Yeah, she's got her own special set of Queemojis.
Yeah, Queemojis.
Queenmojis, and that's what you get sent an email. And I think 102. I think she sends you an owl with a scroll attached to its foot. 103, you get a fax. 104.
Semaphore. A message by semaphore.
Oh, yes, that's it. 105, UPS, throw a brick through your window. 106, but it's signed by the Queen.
As long as it's signed by the Queen, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So it's not like a sort of it's not like a threat. It's from the Queen. It's just that.
The next year it's a match, a lit match signed by the Queen thrown into your house.
That's it. It gets increasingly more aggressive because I think there's a point where the Queen gets very upset that you're now older than her.
Yeah,
you see, and I think she just doesn't like anyone being older than her. She wants to be the oldest.
Very childish of her.
It is a bit. But what is she now? She's 95, 96?
I don't know.
She's got to be close to writing herself a letter.
Yeah, that's going to be weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's going to be throwing a brick into her own face when she's 105 or whatever it was.
That is going to be the weirdest moment, but I think she'll go through with it because she's very dedicated. She's always working. So
looking forward to her Platinum Jubilee, though.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Oh, they're going to coat her in platinum.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She's going to become a cyborg.
Wow, the cyborg queen.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah, you're living in the future when that starts happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, then she'll definitely become 105, won't she? She'll probably live till she's thousands of years old.
Yeah, probably.
She probably won't be angry at anyone else.
Prince Charles is going to be really annoyed. Oh, I'm never going to be king. My mum's a cyborg.
They won't let him be a cyborg. They wouldn't. He won't get to be a cyborg.
Yeah. Well, his ears do act as a form of satellite dish.
Is that right? I always did wonder that. Yeah.
They were installed in the 80s by Rupert Murdoch.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yeah.
So he can hear when people are talking about him. It's a very nosy man.
But he mostly tunes into sort of just shopping channels, doesn't he? That's what I heard.
Yeah, I think shopping and Challenge TV he's very keen on as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah, Challenge TV, absolutely. No, what I wanted to ask though, before I've completely forgot what the question I was going to ask you originally, but I was going to say, what is a jubilee? Because I really like the word jubilee. Jubilee. It sounds a bit like saying lovely jubbly, doesn't it? But
yeah.
It's not.
A jubilee.
Jubilee.
It's
why can't anyone have a jubilee?
It's a bit like a massive jelly, isn't it? A jubilee.
It must be. Yeah. I assume. I just also like, why can't you I'm just going down the shops for a jubilee. I'm going, let's have a jubilee tomorrow. Let's all jubilee. Jubilee sounds really like it's a fun big thing that everyone should do.
Yeah, it is going to be fun when we get a rampaging cyborg as our sovereign.
That is true. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait for Cyborg Queen, Mecha Queen. I'm excited about that. And what I was going to say is, it's a family-friendly show, so I just wanted to double-check if there are any rude words you won't be saying. That's what I wanted to check.
Oh, well, funnily enough, actually, talking about the Queen, I definitely won't be saying Windsor Castle.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
No, please don't. That's I think that would shock and upset most of our listeners. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's just... Yeah, it's one of those words. It's kind of multifaceted, isn't it? People use it in all sorts of horrible ways. Up the Windsor Castle. I got a right Windsor Castling. Yeah. Don't you Windsor Castle me? You
Windsor Castle.
Yeah. It's so unnecessary, and I don't know how they tricked the Queen into calling her house Windsor Castle. Someone has to tell her it's not appropriate.
Yeah. No, I think originally it was four separate. It was like Windsor Castle.
Yeah.
And she never quite put it together. Because,
no, she didn't realise, and she just ran it together.
I can't remember if she became queen, but she was only like 3 or something.
Everyone's too embarrassed to tell her. It's like, oh no, it's such a rude word. We can't tell the Queen what she's done. Called her house Windsor Castle. A bit like when Winston Churchill used to go around giving rude hand gestures to everybody.
Yes.
No one told him.
No, which is, very funny now, but obviously at the time probably quite awkward.
Yeah. So someone please tell the Queen what a naughty word she has named her house after.
Well, it's not going to be us, Ed, because we're not going to say it on the show. I'm not going to say Windsor Castle on the show, and you're now not going to say Windsor Castle on the show, so therefore we won't be saying Windsor
definitely
Castle.
Won't be saying Windsor Castle.
Tell the Queen.
Completely inappropriate.
Can't tell the Queen.
Although I did say the word bloody earlier on, so... Apologies.
You did, but I before we get emails in about that from very angry Guardian newspapers, we things can be like if your parent exploded while reading the news, it would be bloody.
True.
I'm not sure that helps actually. I realise that's probably just made it more gruesome.
Probably more worse. Probably worse.
Yeah, I've probably just made it much. Yeah. Okay, right. Well, let's move on. What we've got questions that have been sent in by children, and you are the best person to answer these questions. That's why I'm very pleased you come back on the show.
I am the best person at answering questions about anything.
You are. I think specifically these ones. You'll see when we get there.
Okay.
I think particularly these ones, right? And I'm going to give you the option I've been giving other guests recently, which is that either we could do the questions one at a time, classic question format. I'll tell you what they are and we answer them. I could either say them both really fast all in one go, or I could make some noises that will communicate to you what the questions are.
I want to hear the noises.
Okay, this week, let me just have a quick look. That's both questions at once.
Right. Okay. See, I've been learning French for 10 years and I've been making very slow progress. And I understood what you said even less than I understand French. I found it pretty impenetrable. So maybe we should just go with the normal question answer format.
I should just say that if you know French, it's actually harder to understand the noises. That's how it
French just is just a load of noises as far as I can tell. Bleh. Boof.
But that's what because you know those noises, you now won't be able to translate my noise. It's
those noises would be different in France. I see what you're trying to say.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and different in South France, they would be to the north of France as well. So it's
okay. Yeah. I think we should just crack on with the questions.
We will. Let's crack on. The first one is I'm going to have to read this to you in its entirety. But the first one says, "My name is smiley face with a halo, smiley face with heart eyes, face with tongue out big eyes, smiley face, sad face, face with stars for eyes, smiley face with one eyebrow raised, face with hearts, 3 hearts around it, face with one eyebrow raised, face with glasses and moustache, smiley face with glasses and hearts, face with stars for eyes, face with glasses and moustache, face with halo, sad face, party face, hearts face, sad face, really sad face, hearts face, star face, hearts face, glasses, moustache face, sad face, kind of sad face. And I am 647...
That's my mum's name! That's my actual mum's name! What a coincidence! Is it from my mum?
Well, I'll tell you the next bit. You can tell. This is the bit that will tell you if it's your mum.
I used to hate writing her a birthday card. Oh, it took me ages.
Awful. Well, it's so long. I know. Is that just her first name, or is there a surname as well?
Oh, that's just her first name. You should see her middle names.
I bet it goes.
They're written in hieroglyphics.
Well, this is what I want to check. Just before we find out if it's your mum or if it's someone else with the same name.
Right. Yeah. What's the question?
And I am. Well, they then said I am 6,447,590,356,377,162 years old cat who can barf rainbows, and I have wings, so I can eat all the different coloured clouds that make me barf rainbows.
Oh no, that's not my mum. My mum is a 70-year-old woman called Jane.
Yeah, so quite different. Does she also barf rainbows?
Maybe secretly.
Right, sure. Okay. Well, look, now we've got that. We know it's not your mum, which is good because, it'd be you probably wouldn't want to do the podcast. You could just call your mum.
Yeah. Well, no, if she sent the letter in, she might listen to this podcast and then she'll have heard that I said the word Windsor Castle and I get in big trouble.
Well, exactly.
Oh, I'm glad it's not from my mum.
Say that on the show. So
no.
Yeah, thank goodness. Right. Well, that I'm not going to repeat their name again, but they want to know: can my house eat meat?
Not unless you are living in some sort of horror film.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess the question you have to ask yourself is: am I living in a horror film? Is there ominous music when I walk into dark rooms? Do your parents or guardian say things like, yes, we've not had anything like that happen since the incident? Do they say things like that?
Yeah.
And then, just normal things like blood streaming down the walls in your bedroom, that sort of thing, Are you living in a horror film? The telltale signs.
It's normally quite easy to tell, isn't it? I think it's the music that's the big giveaway. Like you said, it's just when you go, oh, I'm just going to go in the cupboard, and then all of a sudden, and there'll be some sort of like terrifying music just plays.
Things jumping out to surprise you.
Yeah, but when it's not your birthday, I should say, because if things jump out to surprise you on your birthday, that's different.
Yeah, that's not a horror film. Don't worry, kids.
No, that's don't. If you have a surprise birthday party, don't be terrified
that your life is actually a horror film. Yeah, you'll just ruin your birthday.
But then there comes the confusion of what if you live in a haunted house and something jumps out to surprise you, but it is also on your birthday. How do you work out if it's okay?
Oh, no, that is tricky. Just ask the thing that's jumped out at you is probably the best thing to do.
I suppose also it depends on if they go rah or if they go surprise.
Yeah, that could be another telltale sign.
Yeah, or if they've got a cake as well.
Yeah,
unless it's a horror cake with a face. Yeah.
I wonder why he's worried that his house is eating him.
Well, but the other thing is, earlier you mentioned, Jonah living in a whale and the whale had eaten Jonah. So there is also a possibility, I suppose, that if you live in a whale, if a whale is your house, could eat you.
I mean, I've barely left my house in the last 2 years, so maybe my house has eaten me.
Oh, wow. That's a good point. Have you been able to go outside at all since then? Or
Yeah, now you come to mention it. No.
Is there... Do you ever hear sort of any, like, giant burp noises?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm covered in stomach acid.
Yeah, that'll be... Yeah.
Constantly.
I think there's every chance...
Oh.
Yeah, every chance your house is
has eaten me, yeah. Oh, no, I haven't really... I should probably try and escape.
Well, do houses poo... Could a house poo you out?
No, very much like walruses in that respect.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can't talk about that.
No, of course not. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, that's... So it's also... I mean, I suppose if many emojis barfing cat person is worried about their house eating, it is a possibility. I mean, I do also worry that they don't live in a house. They live in, something that's got a giant mouth that could eat you. Or, yeah. A clown, yeah.
No, not a clown, a cow. A clown would be ridiculous.
A cow, yeah. Yes. Yeah, so, yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I mean, doors aren't that mouth-like, are they? I don't know unless you have those sort of barn doors, I suppose, or doors on the side. I'm trying to think how a house could go about eating you.
Yeah, garage door, automatic garage door.
Yeah.
That would be... I should do that, actually, if I ever live in a house with a garage. Just paint a big mouth on it and make the door open and close and scream across the road to the neighbours, help, my house is eating me. the day after I move in.
That would be amazing.
Just to show them I'm a fun guy.
And then when they rescue you, you can say, "Oh, that garage was fine until the incident."
Yeah.
And it'll really freak them out. Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, I think we sort of... I'm worried that by just saying your house can't eat you, that we're ignoring a situation that this person may be in. Maybe the house is very hungry. I hadn't considered... I've never really witnessed a house get hungry before. I don't know what happens.
If you're worried that your house may be eating you, there will be details at the end of the podcast. With the phone number for Houseline.
Yeah. I mean, the worry is you don't want to use... I don't think anyone uses landlines anymore anyway, because they don't need to call the land. But if you did use a landline, it would be in the house that is eating you.
Oh, yeah. And then the house would
just eat that.
The house would just the house would just be sneaky and go, no need to worry. Your house is eating you. Nom nom nom.
Nom, tasty.
Just hang up and pretend that this conversation never happened. Nom nom nom.
Yeah. Which, you know what though? I've just realised that you do get the phrase "full house," don't you?
Yes. Oh, that's a giveaway. Oh, the sneaky houses. They're all at it.
Yeah.
It's all just...
So if it's like, we've got a full house, that's because it's eaten everyone.
Safe as houses? I don't think so. Houses. We're on to you. We know your game.
It is. It's very suspicious. I mean, it's often, there are oftentimes you see people go into houses and I don't see them leave.
Yes. You're quite right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I worry. I mean, I don't even... To be fair, I don't know why we're answering this question, because there's every chance they could have been eaten by their house by now.
Yeah, they're probably not. Yeah, they're probably not even listening to this.
No.
There's probably no one listening to this after... after 15 minutes of this nonsense, or however long it's been.
Hey, they're all getting too ready for the cyborg queen, you see. The thing is,
if you send a silly question, you're going to get a silly answer, people.
What do you mean a silly? That's a very serious, important question. And by giving this information out there, we could, be saving people from house eatings, or perhaps, helping if they know their house is hungry, they could sort of get their friends to come around they don't really like. Yeah, you can come round.
Invite your enemies round for a play date. So they can be eaten by your house. So is that the only question you got then, just from that lunatic?
No, I've got another question.
Oh right.
I just wanted to make sure that one was answered. Which
I think I've answered that one extensively.
Yes, I mean, maybe. I don't know how helpful it was, but
it wasn't helpful at all.
No.
What's the other question?
Right, well, look, the other question is from Beatrix, aged 6, and she has asked: are butterflies butter that like to take to the sky, or flies that just really like butter?
Well, they're neither, are they? They're caterpillars in disguise.
What?
Yeah. You're not fooling me, caterpillars. They're just caterpillars trying to get away with it. No one likes caterpillars. And they just slap a couple of pair of wings on and then flutter about, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, brilliant, oh, they're lovely. No, they're not. They're just caterpillars showing off. I've got no time for them at all.
Is that what they're doing, just sort of to kind of build their reputation, caterpillars, then? It's been this whole time they put a pair of wings on to think that...
Yeah, it's just them. Like, me walking around in a fancy hat. It's just a...
I mean, you do that.
Yeah. If I'm showing off. But I don't do it, because I'm not a show-off.
But you do. I have seen you do it.
But there is obviously the reason they're called butterflies is that that is how you make butter, obviously. But people don't say that because then nobody would buy the stuff. Yeah. So they pretend it's made from milk, that is a dairy product. But actually, when you're a grown up, when you become a grown up, people tell you the real way they make butter, and it's quite horrific.
It's really horrific. They have to really churn them for hours.
Hours. I mean, there are thousands. People say that butterfly numbers are dropping. I'm not surprised, because there's about 10,000 butterflies that go into one carton of butter.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Did they call it cartons? What do they call it? What do you call a punnet? What do you call a butter?
That's a good question.
Dish? No. What do you buy butter in?
A cargo hold.
Yeah.
A cargo hold. A suitcase. Yeah. You get a suitcase of butter, don't you? Yeah.
You see, my favourite butter is anchor butter, because I know that the butterflies have been killed with an anchor, so they will have been squashed properly. That's nice, isn't it?
Well, I was going to say, because also, like, she asked about butter that takes to the sky. I'm pretty sure that's when you get, like, when it says light on it, because it's got it's just floaty. Whereas anchor butter is the butter that stays down.
Yes.
On the ground.
Yeah, don't buy the light one, because they might not squash the butterflies properly. So you might be trying to spread your toast in the morning, and then it just flies away. Which the butter flies away. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also very dangerous. There's a plane flying past, and suddenly it's covered in butter. And
don't buy clover butter. Have you ever tried to kill a butterfly with a clover leaf?
Yeah,
very hard.
So it took ages.
No, kill them with an anchor. So I don't buy clover. Lurpak's all right. Smacking them with a pack of something. A pack of something is generally quite a solid thing. But anchor's the best, I think.
Wow. So that's, I mean, that's I wonder how many children is there's also like vegan butter. Is that then?
It's made from vegans, yes.
Vegan butterflies.
That's why. No. That's made from actual vegans. That's why there aren't many vegans around.
Oh, I see. Right, because they're being churned to make
vegan butter. Yes, vegan cheese.
Yeah.
So if you're a vegan, you have to be very careful when you're walking around, because there'll be one of the vegan catchers out with their nets and vans.
That is very scary. Oh, what about margarine? What's margarine?
That's made from women called Marjorie.
Oh my goodness!
But just their hair and toenail clippings. So they just donate it. Wow. That's why when you meet a woman called Marjorie, never has long hair, and that's why. And very short fingernails. You'll notice.
No. I mean, I feel I don't want to ask you questions forever, but already you've got me worried about. Is Philadelphia only made by out of people from Philadelphia?
No, that's just made from the soil of Philadelphia. It's disgusting stuff.
Right. Okay, that is disgusting. Baby bells.
Yeah.
Are they?
That's made from the little bells inside a baby's rattle. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. I was worried. Laughing cow, I'm guessing, is made from very happy cows.
No, it's made from a very happy woman who's just been insulted. That
may
that.
be the bit I have to edit out.
Yeah. Such nonsense.
Oh wow! This is an absolutely horrifying revelation, and I sort of, as much as it's informative, I feel like Beatrix's question just means that nobody listening to this is ever going to eat butter. Or actually, they probably won't care, will they?
No, my daughter actually refuses to eat butter. This is probably why. She knew what she.
Is that her reason? Is that what she says?
She's never really given a reason. There's no rhyme or reason to anything my children do, really. But yeah, no, maybe she'd actually found out about the secret of butter sooner than she was supposed to.
Yeah. I feel like I've only just found out about it, and I've been eating butter for a very long time.
Oh, you didn't have to on your 18th birthday. You didn't go to the government department of grown-ups where you get told out about all the grown-up things that the grown-ups know about.
No, I've never been invited to the government department of grown-ups. It makes me so worried.
No, you're missing out. Well, I can't talk about it on a children's podcast, obviously, because defeat the object. Sure. But yeah, get yourself down the government department of grown-ups.
But hang on though, do they take all the fun away? Like, do they, like, when you go there, do you have to at the door just hand in all your fun?
Well, no. To be able to go in, you have to describe what a mortgage is.
I don't think I can do that. I still don't really understand it.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't really get it. Yeah, I don't.
It does take some practice.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
And then then the guard on the door talks to you about insurance for 5 minutes, and you have to try not to fall asleep. And
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, and then if you don't fall asleep, then you're allowed into the government department of grown-ups.
Right. And do they actually tell you stuff there, or do they constantly say, "Just give me a minute, just give me a minute, give me a minute," and they just say that constantly?
Yeah, no, they do. Yeah, they do that for about an hour or two, and then they teach you how to drink coffee without going, "Oh, it's horrible."
Wow.
All the grown-up stuff.
Wow. Fart louder?
Yeah, fart louder. How to iron a pair of pajamas.
Yeah, all these stuff.
All the grown-up things.
I'm gonna have to. Well, I might have to apply. I'm also a bit scared. I don't really want to do any. I don't want to do any of those things.
It's awful, really, being a grown-up.
Yeah, it is awful.
You have to be sensible all the time, like me.
Yeah, you are one of the most sensible people I know. Yeah. Even when you wear your fancy hat and look after walruses, but it takes a lot to be sensible during things like that, and I think that's why you are who you are. And
Captain Sensible, they call me.
Captain, I thought they called you. Hey, have I been calling you the wrong name?
Yeah, I would prefer it if you called me Captain, Captain.
Sorry, Captain, my Captain Sensible. I do apologise. I hadn't realised. I should have checked with you before we started recording. It's very unprofessional of me. Wow. Well, I hope the listeners have learnt a lot. I've definitely learnt a lot today. So thank you, Ed.
Anytime
for your time. Thank you for coming on the show to answer those questions. Have you got an exciting rest of the day ahead?
Yeah, I've just got to go back to my massive pile of sand and have a good think about what I'm doing with my life.
Sounds great. That sounds really great.
Yeah.
Sounds very relaxing. Yeah. Well, good. I'm going to go and try and just sort of fire myself at whales, see if I can get eaten or not.
Oh yeah, to prove. Yeah, that would be good actually. Yes, could you prove that point for me? That would be.
I will. I'll let you, Captain. I'll let you know as soon as I get the results.
Lovely stuff. All right.
Cool.
Bye!
Big thanks to Ed Petrie for coming back on the show despite his very busy walrus caring duties. And I would like to say that the Department of Grown-Ups has been in touch with the podcast to basically state that I'm absolutely not allowed to mention that it even exists on a podcast for children. So obviously I'll just cut that bit out, and I definitely haven't mentioned it on this bit either. I hope many emoji face Rainbow Cat and Beatrix that you are very happy with your answers, and if not, why not ask a bee if they know the answers, because as you can see there are absolutely loads here at Comedy Club for Kids HQ, be more than happy to lend you one. 1B, 2B, or not 2B. You can come and take as many as you like. Oh, okay, you're not for lending. I understand. Don't forget, if you have anything you'd like to send in to us, whether it's jokes, more bees, things covered in honey, or questions you need answering, then please get your clumpy butt garglers, grown-ups, to help you email us at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. You can also find us on PopJam, check out our shows at comedyclubforkids.co.uk, and if your grown-ups want to buy us some A's, C's and D's, so we have a full alphabet in here with all the B's, then they can do that at ko-fi.com/comedyclubforkids or at the Acast supporter button. Or if you see loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of bees, that's where I am. So just pop over and say hello. But then you'll get stuck in honey and you won't be able to go anywhere. So then at least I'll have some company, which would be really nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, all right, but you're not great company, are you? You just keep buzzing around and you won't even stop for a chat and a cup of honey tea. I mean, I don't mind you being here, bees, but if you're going to just treat it as your own home, then I'd rather you buzz off. Oh, they've all gone. Was that all I had to do? Oh, maybe I was a bit rude then, wasn't I? I was a bit rude. They did bring me all that honey, but I suppose now I've got all this honey to myself. Sorry, what was that? Oh no, bears. No, even worse, farting bears. Can I not have one quiet day in this studio? Wait, who changed the door sign to say 433 bears? Linda? Did you do that, Linda? Oh, no, wait, don't sit there, bears. That's the computer. Don't eat that. It might have honey on, but it's the kitchen sink. And no, don't sit there. That's me. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week when I get out from under this horrible farting grizzly. Just bear with me. Exactly. Bye. You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids Presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.